Welcome to Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast, where you'll discover strategies to save money, save time, and be better organized in managing your largest financial asset and biggest expense, your home. Your hosts, John Bodrozic and Beth Dodson, who are co-founders of HomeZada, have been supporting homeowners for over 20 years. They are here to share with you their tips and suggestions, as well as interviews with industry experts, with the goal of helping you become a smarter homeowner. Now, here's your hosts, John and Beth.
Hello, all. Welcome to Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. Today, we're going to talk about the interconnectivity of the house and why HomeZada was built with all of this robustness and comprehension to help you manage your house the most effectively you can manage it. So let's just start this conversation off, John.
Yes.
The house is a complex entity that we have all got the great opportunity to live in the United States.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is there is the house itself, the structure of the building, what we see when we walk in when we're going to buy a house, all the exterior, if you have a single family home, larger property, what have you, the community, if you're getting an HOA, either in a homeowners associate or in a community or in a single family home or even in a condo. And then there's everything behind the walls that nobody ever sees. And then everything that people bring into their homes from wherever they were before, or just to get it all going, from furnishings to cookware and etc. So my question to you is, why is the house so complex?
Yeah. Trying to come up with the short answer to that question. I think part of it, I'll start with, it's a mindset. Most consumers who own a home, they think of the home as like one entity, one unit, so to speak. It's my home. That's it.
Yeah.
But candidly, you pull that layer back one, and it's really a collection of
touche.
It's a collection of building materials, equipment, appliances, fixtures, finishes, all put together in a very useful way that all have to work interconnectedly with each other. And then you buy that house and you move in all your personal property. And then outside of the house, if it's a single family home, you've got all the landscaping associated with that. That is really your home, is all this layer of collection of all these things coming together, which is where the complexity starts.
Yes. And so that's a great way to bring it down into its simplicity, which is good. And one of the things that we do here at HomeZada is we take that complexity and we address it in an all-in-one app or platform to manage what you just described as all the complexity about the house.
Correct.
And so at HomeZada, we include the ability for people to take a home inventory as high level or as detailed as they want to do that. And that's whatever their preference is. We include the ability for homeowners to track a maintenance calendar and identify when these maintenance tasks are coming up on a calendar, and then when you've actually completed them so that you can understand when you need to do the next one. And then we track projects. And those projects can be repairs, remodels, enhancements, additions, whatever. And then from there, we have all of the financial picture as it relates to the home, because the home is a very large, and for most people in the United States, it is their largest expense. However, it also is an asset that appreciates. And for some people, this is generational wealth that people get to pass down to their family members, and a variety of other details within HomeZada. I'm just giving the big key main points. And I remember when I first had a vision for HomeZada, I understood that everything was interconnected, meaning you have inventory items, and let's just take an HVAC equipment because it just happens to be one of those things that will eventually need replacing. But HVAC equipment not only is an inventory item and understanding the details of that item, but it also is something that requires maintenance. Not all items in your home require maintenance, but this is one of those items that does require maintenance and regular maintenance. And then when you have regular maintenance, then ultimately after a period of time, I don't know, 15, 20, 25 years, you need to replace that item. And so then you've got a project that replaces it. But then when that project is complete and you've installed that new system, it then becomes a brand new item in your inventory, and the old one goes away because hopefully your HVAC equipment guy took the old one with him and disposed of it properly. And so it brings us into this scenario where there are areas of the house that you need to manage that become a full life cycle set of tasks or activities or items that we felt needed to be represented clearly and concisely in one single platform. Now, that's my perspective. Tell me about yours.
Yeah. So you hit the overarching inventory, maintenance, projects, finances. And it's the journey of home ownership. You buy a home, you own it for 5 to 7 years, and then you sell it. And this cycle continues on, for your life. So the home, given all those different assets, they all come together. And then there's different aspects of it. Inventory, people usually think their primary reason is for insurance purposes. My house burns down, I need to file a claim. But inventory also applies to maintenance because you want to know all those building materials and assets like the HVAC and the roof because they need maintenance. That turns into a maintenance calendar because what HVAC unit may determine what maintenance you need to do, what type of roof you have, asphalt or concrete tile or, whatever determines the maintenance.
Or even the location of your home.
That's not even getting to that yet. But yes, the location is subject to the climate issues. Is it wherever? Correct. Then even on the maintenance, there's two aspects of it. Preventative maintenance. What are the things that I need to do to stay on top of these things? And then invariably fix it and repair maintenance. Something has broken and I need to fix it before it fully needs to be replaced. And then you said projects, big other sort of piece there, which is projects are oftentimes the home is 20 years old and you want to remodel the kitchen. Well, you're going to replace appliances and building materials, countertops, this, that, and the other. Sometimes they're smaller projects. I just want to replace carpet. Sometimes they're systems. I need to replace my HVAC. So oftentimes that ties into updating the inventory after all that. And all of these things relate to, well, what's the current market value of my home? And how much is my mortgage balance? And how much equity do I have? And what are my utility expenses and property taxes and insurance? And should we stay or should we sell? All of these things are why we decided HomeZada needed to be a comprehensive platform, easy to use, predict a lot of the data for you, but if you bring it all together in one platform, now you have a holistic view over your largest financial asset and biggest expense.
And that leads to better decision making.
Hence the name of our podcast, Be a Smarter Homeowner.
Yes. And it's so funny because I don't think a lot of people always understand that, in that we, that our homes are comprehensive and oftentimes complex, and that there are a lot of nuances that we need to make decisions on as it relates to our homes. And with that said, one of the things that we saw with our platform is a lot of people have asked us in the past, well, why isn't everything separate? Meaning inventory is separate and maintenance is separate, because there's apps out there that are. I personally think we described why we put it all together in one, because it is all connected, and you have to help teach people how to think of their home as that connected. And you said it in the beginning, the construction of a home, every part and piece has to work together in order for it to actually turn into a home.
Yes.
Even the wires, the water piping. I mean, I know a lot of people might think they turn on the faucet and then just water just comes, but no, not really.
Magic.
It's magic. It's not. I mean, literally someone had to build it to make it happen. But I know why I believe we need to make it all in one. Tell me some of the other reasons why you believe that, one, all these individual apps are not effective for the average homeowner.
Yeah, there's probably like three answers to that question. One is because of all these different aspects of your home, if everything is separate, then it's very difficult to get a holistic view over your home. And why is the holistic view important? It's sort of, the analogy is almost like you're managing your bank accounts. There are a lot of personal finance apps that are basically you log in and you see your checking, credit, investment accounts all in one, and you get a financial picture over those particular assets. Why is that important? Because now you have a holistic view over how you're managing all of your sort of liquid financial aspects. Now you apply that same analogy to the home, and if you're going over here to your insurance company's giving you this and your mortgage company's giving you that, and you've got Google spreadsheets over here and you've got the data over here, all that data is dispersed in all these different places. Your brain is not capable of bringing all those things together to understand how they're all interrelated to be able to make those smarter decisions. So bringing them all into one single platform, think about creating a mental boundary around the physical aspects of your house. And if you get all that data into one spot, then you get to see all these interconnected relationships and why they're so important. I'll give you an example, two examples.
Okay.
Should I do a kitchen remodel, and what ROI is it going to have on the current market value of my home? Right? So you go to some online platform and it tells you your current market value of your home is $700,000. Should I spend $20,000, $30,000, or $100,000 on a kitchen remodel? And if I do, is that going to impact the market value of my home, and how would I assess my equity as a result of those things? So now I've tied the budgeting of a kitchen remodel with the current market value of your home together with your home equity to give you a better financial sort of picture of that kind of mentality.
Yes, and we can do all that in HomeZada.
That's correct. But if it's all in different systems, good luck. You're never going to be able to get that sort of financial visibility.
Or if you do, you have to manually figure it out. And let's face it, human error is some of the biggest error points that we have in trying to figure out all these details.
Yes. Yeah. So it's the value is everything literally being in one place around this collection of building materials and assets that applies to insurance, maintenance, mortgage, energy usage, property tax, expenses, total cost of ownership. Is it costing us to stay in this home? When did you buy it? Did you already buy a home that's 20 years old that's never been remodeled? Did you buy a brand new home that's just brand new from a builder? All these different dynamics are coming into play when the information about this asset is scattered everywhere. You really don't have good data to be able to make smarter decisions.
Now, you said you had a second example.
I forgot what it was.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Maybe it'll come back to me.
But literally, so we look at why we created it like this, and we are committed to that because we want to give full visibility about this entire asset to the homeowner that owns it, and they can do that with multiple properties and gain visibility into those assets, and then review all of that as a whole in terms of, I've got a property here, a property here, a property here. But also a lot of questions always come up too from whether it's our partners, whether it's our customers. Well, I can do that same thing in a generic app, meaning Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, store my photographs on my computer, in my phone, on a generic site that stores all these photos or documents. Like, I can just store all that. Why is that not an ideal situation? Using all these generic texts, why is that not an ideal situation to solving the same problem that HomeZada can solve?
Yeah, great question. And this one, I do have like 4 or 5 different reasons for that, and I have to sort of compare each individual one. So let's start with inventory. Most people think of inventory as going around their house and taking photos. Yep, you could go around your house, take photos, store it on your iPhone, and store it in a cloud storage somewhere. If you have to file a claim, the insurance company says, tell me the value of all those items.
Mm-hmm.
Your cloud storage of 100 photos is not going to aggregate what's the value of all those items. You now have to open up a spreadsheet and start to itemize all those things. So now you've got cloud storage over here and a spreadsheet over here, and now you're doing data entry to enter in the value of those particular items. And then when your insurance company says, send me that, even in a proactive way to see if you're properly insured, what are you going to do? Send them the spreadsheet and send them all that information? Because let's face it, a spreadsheet is horrible at saving photos.
Yes.
It's not designed to save photos.
It'll crash.
And generic cloud storage of 100 JPEGs is not a spreadsheet that's going to add up the value of all those items, much less how much jewelry you have versus power tools versus all these other things. So you've got 2 different disparate systems, but they don't actually do what you need it to do to either A, make sure you're properly insured, or B, much less, unfortunately, if something did happen to your home, had to file a claim, you've got a lot more work to do versus HomeZada brings all those things together for you.
Yeah.
That's just one example.
I'm waiting for the next
You're waiting
4.
for the next.
Yeah.
Maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people can go online and search and say, what do I need to do for home maintenance, right? And you could find a gazillion media sites that tell you what to do on maintenance, and you could even copy and paste those into a Word document or Excel spreadsheet. Great. But that maintenance usually has a calendar, and it's not that calendar, it's not calendarized. Think of you having a different Google spreadsheet now.
Yeah.
For the 20 preventative maintenance tasks, you have to mentally remind yourself to go in there and look and go, oh, when's the last time I changed the air filters? When's the last time I drained the hot water heater? It's not a calendar system. So now I've introduced a third technology, which is, okay, I need a calendar system. What's the benefit of a calendaring system? It sends you those alerts and reminders, right? So now you're like, oh, well, I already use Google Calendar, or my work has a calendar. Well, now you're mixing the calendar for your personal and professional life with the calendar for your home. You're sort of contaminating those 2 things together.
Biggest pet peeves.
Right?
Pet peeves.
And back to the, my HVAC needs maintenance. Well, where are the owner's manuals, and what does my HVAC unit need? Where did you store that?
They're probably in a box. They're probably in a box somewhere in a closet.
Now it's in a 4th category of paper that's still in your house in a box in a closet. So now you've got 2 Google spreadsheets, cloud drive over here, a box, and a calendaring system, and you're trying to combine all these things to figure out how to track your preventative maintenance and minimize your brain having to remember all these things over when to do it.
And by the way, I can just see listeners going, that's me. Because that used to be me.
That used to be us, yes.
Used to be, yeah. Wait,
yes.
That's me. I can hear them just saying it right now.
Yes.
Okay.
So another example, projects.
So now so before we even get to projects, we've basically just introduced, I think, like 5 systems so far.
Correct. I'm going to introduce more. Projects. I want to do that kitchen remodel that we talked about. Am I going to spend $20,000, $50,000, or $100,000?
Depends on how big it is.
Depends on how big it is. It depends on what materials you choose.
Correct.
Are you going to choose basic ceramic tile as your countertop, or high-end, marble? Are you going to go high-end appliances or low-end appliances? So on these bigger projects, a lot of people will spend time doing product research. So you'll go to all these home improvement websites, Amazon, whatever, and you're like, oh, that's a cool refrigerator. And then what do you end up doing? You end up saving a bunch of bookmarks.
Or Pinterest.
Or Pinterest boards, right? So now you've spent 2 months researching your kitchen remodel, and you've got 50 to 100 bookmarks for every item that you want. Do those bookmarks in your internet browser, do they aggregate all of those things to tell you if you went with all the high-end stuff, you're going to spend $100,000. If you went with the low-end stuff, you're going to spend $30,000. They don't do all that stuff. So now you're copying and pasting from your internet browser into a third Google spreadsheet to sort of save all that to try to get some sort of analysis. Then you're taking before and after photos of your kitchen remodel. Now you're using the cloud storage, and none of those things are integrated together.
The only reason why I'm laughing is because this was me prior to HomeZada. All these systems, all this disparate situations, and massive amounts of frustration trying to consolidate things and understand the bigger picture.
Well, yeah, you would even go to home improvement stores or trade shows and get the old-fashioned brochures and create folders of all the different products that you're going to consider.
I get information from all different kinds of sites.
Pooling ads, because I know you love still magazines, and that's a cool product. I need to stick that in my future refrigerator choice folder.
Yep. I grab it all. Physical, digital, you name it. I got it.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes frustrating.
Yes. So now I'll even give you more examples. So how many systems do we now? We've added your internet browser and bookmarks.
Pinterest. And we added Pinterest too, and paper.
Yeah.
So we've added, I think we've added 3 more. So we're now up to 8.
Okay.
8 systems.
Let's jump
at
to
minimum.
Let's jump to finances now.
Okay. Oh, geez,
what's my home currently worth? Well, now you're going to a different site. Most of that, there's a lot of home valuation tools. Most of them are real estate portals.
Yep.
Right? What's the balance on my mortgage? Where do you get that information? Oh, you need to log into your mortgage company bank to see the balance on your mortgage. Are they telling you how much equity you have? So now you've got 2 different systems to be able to understand all these things. Maybe some of them do them together, but now it goes back to what if I've already done 10 projects? And those automated valuation systems don't know that you've done 10 projects. They don't know that you've put in a pool. They don't know that you've done some of these things. So what is the current value of your home? It's the sum of the investments that you've made plus these things. So now you've got these other sort of sites that are financially oriented around your home as yet another system. Again, not a holistic picture over everything that's inside your house. Right? And your insurance company, they're like, oh, log into our portal to see, your policies. Well, how do you know if you're properly insured? Your policy says, hey, if your house burns down, we will pay you up to $400,000 for the stuff inside your house. Well, how do you don't know whether you might have $500,000 worth of stuff and you're underinsured? Or your policy says we're not going to pay you for those power tools unless you have a documented inventory.
Yeah.
Where's your documented inventory? Oh, back to those photos. Oh, but they're not actually aggregated, so they're in the photos plus the Google spreadsheet, and now you're not comparing against your insurance policy.
Correct. And nobody's helping you do it.
Correct.
None of these companies are helping you do it. No offense to the companies, but you're not helping anybody do it.
Correct. So therein lies how many systems have I said as it relates to try to bring in the holistic view over how to manage everything about your house.
So you've brought in about, I'd say 10 or 11. However, you missed like your banking accounts, your utilities companies, your water company, because that's all these other systems.
Yes.
And you've missed your HOA documentation. And then there's probably a lot more missed. So we're talking about easily, I'd say 15 to maybe even 30, depending on how big your house is, what you've got going on, systems that you would have to leverage if you didn't have HomeZada.
Correct.
That's a lot. Oh, and to me, on top of that, just FYI, because I thought of this when you were saying all of the different companies and everything else. Now I'm getting all these emails that I don't want from these companies. I want valuable emails. I don't want emails that are just selling me some other product or something else.
I'll share you one other dynamic over what the problem with this is. Every single one of those other 10 systems, maybe you only have access to it via a desktop, or maybe it's only via an app on your phone. Right? So you're traveling, on a vacation and something happens to your house, but you don't have access to the data, or it's locked behind a username and password that you actually forgot over here, and so you don't have access to that data. Again, the value of HomeZada is number one, all the data is in one place. Number two is it's all stored in a safe and secure cloud. Number three is you can access it with any device you want, mobile, tablet, or desktop, and you can interchange.
Correct.
The other value now is if you own a house with a spouse or a partner or family members, now you can all share the same data.
Yes. To make better decisions. And then on top of that, and I will say this because it's one of the most valuable features that I use, and then I have a favorite feature inside HomeZada. The first valuable feature that I think is really important in HomeZada is I can store unlimited documents, photos, videos, whatever, and I store a lot of information so I don't have to keep it physically in my house anymore. Mm-hmm. And that is important to me. So it's a really valuable scenario for me. And then I can search for all that information. Even my contacts, super amazing. I don't have to keep business cards anymore of people. But I know, that's another thing.
Yeah, business another cards. System, a contact list of all the vendors that service your house. Guess what? HomeZada does that as well.
Totally. And then my favorite feature in all of HomeZada, because I'm a firm believer, good data in, good data out. I mean, I can't stress it enough. I get great reports on all of this information so that I can make better decisions. It's not purely me just looking at the system and looking at how things are. I can actually get reporting capabilities that make me a better homeowner and help me understand my overall finances, not just about my house, but about everything else, because I know the impact that the house has on it. And I can make better decisions both annually, quarterly, for cash flow reasons, for projection reasons, everything. And it is one of the tools that I use to manage projects from year to year. And also I can say no to certain projects because I know they're not crucial, because I can push them off a year because I've already spent all my project money for the existing year. And I can say, yep, but now I know what I have to save for come next year. And I already have preparations for that. So
that's awesome.
Reporting is like my favorite thing in all of HomeZada.
That's awesome. And I thought of a massive one that I completely forgot about.
We know HomeZada too well.
Do you want me to share the massive one that I forgot about?
Yes.
Using AI.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, especially generative AI, right? There's a lot of people now signing up for ChatGPT, Claude, Google Gemini, whatever. And they're like, oh, I can ask all these questions and use my AI tool. Why do I need to use HomeZada?
Yeah.
Same question, same issue. Like, absolutely, you can go. I even used all those tools myself to ask questions. However, it goes back to every home in America is unique based on your address. What's the age of your home? What's the size of your home? What's the current market value of your home? Where's the location of your home that has climate and weather impacts? Managing and maintaining a home in San Diego is different than in Minneapolis. It's different than in Atlanta, Georgia. Totally. It's different than in Boulder, Colorado. So when you asked most people, when they ask these generative AI tools questions, very short questions, hey, what do I need to do to manage my house, blah, 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 blah. Wouldn't it be better to get specific advice for your house in your location? HomeZada's Homeowner AI, because when you create that, when you ask it questions, you could ask HomeZada Homeowner AI these exact same questions. The AI is giving you advice specific to your house based on location, age, size, current market value.
We've thought a lot about HomeZada.
You're essentially getting a expert advice over all these things specific to your house, available to you 24/7. Sorry, one other thing, right? Think about how much advice that homeowners get from the vendors that they're calling to service their house.
Totally.
What pool light should I install?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those are questions either prior to hiring somebody or once you've hired somebody, and all these sort of questions. So much of the advice that we get from our home is from the third parties that service our homes. Now, given homeowner AI inside of HomeZada, you get that advice anytime you want.
And that makes you a better homeowner. Even when you're dealing with your service providers and your contractors, you can actually talk intelligently to them and have a better relationship.
Correct.
To solve the issues.
I did that myself, right? Our pool heater wasn't working. I took a picture of our pool heater and it basically asked the AI tool, tell me what this thing is, how old is it, and what are the troubleshooting issues, and if I have to replace it, how much is it going to cost me, and what are my options over the different types of pool heaters to do. And I did all of that in 2 minutes inside of HomeZada. Therefore, when I actually start making these phone calls and they show up, I'm much better, smarter, and they're actually happy. They're like, oh my God, we have a homeowner who actually understands their home heater, pool heater, and I don't have to explain all these things to them.
Yes, and that's one of those projects I pushed off to next year.
But it's a huge thing.
Because it was a lot more than I thought.
And inside of HomeZada, all of your AI chats are saved inside that boundary of your property. So you're building this digital history of everything in your house. We haven't even gotten to, it's time to sell the house. What if you could share that digital history as a way of marketing your house to potential buyers?
Which I think is impressive, because I take care of my house, and if my neighbors don't, why are they getting the same amount of money as I do when I actually take care of it, and the person that comes into my house is going to be ready to go?
Correct. Let's say you put on a new roof and there's still 17 years left on the warranty. Where's that warranty documentation? Who was the roofer that did it? I've uploaded all the owner's manuals. I've already got a preventative maintenance calendar. I've got photos of a pool heater that I just put in. All of that data could be transferred to the successful buyer of your home. Therefore, they're not on their own journey of discovery. So there's no system that does any of that, which is another huge innovation that we've developed on the market. Sorry, I'm getting fired up.
No, we're getting excited because we get this question a lot, like, why all in one? Why can't you break it apart? And I think we've done a really good job today explaining the complexity of the home, the fact that the home is all these parts and pieces that come together, integrated and interconnected to deliver the actual home, that the faucet works, the toilet flushes, the heater works, the air conditioning works, so on and so forth. And some magnificent contractor built it to make sure that it does all that for you, but it's your turn to maintain all of it and care for it and to understand it. And go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were on the middle.
And in order to do that, you have to have a comprehensive system like HomeZada that tracks all of this information, that is also interconnected. And then you can continue to use HomeZada to understand how you are specifically getting your needs met for your specific home.
Correct. So here's another thing. My last thing over how to explain this. Going back to where we started, we said your home is not one unit. It's a collection of all these different things all coming together. Think of HomeZada as a digital twin of your physical house.
So I'm laughing, everyone out there, because this is the first time I've heard this. Let's hear where this goes.
But the concept of a digital twin is oftentimes used in a lot of other industries.
Okay.
Believe it or not, it is being talked about as we as a society progress, where, if you look at the gray in my goatee, right, pre-internet and all that other stuff, we live primarily in a physical world. Now we live in a physical and a digital world. So lots of things it's like your health. There is your physical body, but what about the digital version of you and all of your health records in one spot? That's the same concept of the house. Your house is a physical asset, but if you have a digital twin of it now you're capable of managing the physical asset much better because the digital twin has all the data about your house.
Yeah, good call. Good call. So we can't stress enough. We wanted to share this story about why we wanted to make it an all-in-one platform, because a lot of people, like I said, have asked, why would you do this? Why would you make it so complex? Because our homes are complex, but they are glorious. They give us shelter. They help us entertain. And I tend to treat my home like it's part of the family because that's the way I believe it to be. And with that said, I hope we've been able to describe enough about why we created this all-in-one. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact us at HomeZada.com or info@HomeZada.com. And it sounds like John has something else before we close this out. So let's turn it over to John.
Usually you ask me, do you have one more thing to share? And you forgot. So, okay, one thing is,
forget.
Yes, the home is complex and it's all interrelated, but I'm going to pat ourselves on the back as a team. I think we've done a fantastic job to make it super easy to use.
Totally.
Because all you do is sign up, enter in your address, and we're going to predict a lot of this data. We're going to build a maintenance calendar for you. We're going to get all that data for you about your house value, templates for your projects, all access to the AI tool.
Yes.
All of that stuff makes it easy to build that digital twin because of all that sort of software development work that we've done as a team. And that's why I think our customers are really, really loving HomeZada.
Yeah, we try to anticipate people's needs because we are homeowners and we've been there.
Yep.
We understand. We have the same frustrations and struggles as all other homeowners, and we used our own frustrations to create a product or a platform that can be used by anybody, and it's specific to their property. And so with that said, any last thing, John, before we go?
Done. I'm
We hope you've had fun on this episode of Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. Please subscribe, share this with anyone you think may find value in this. And thank you for allowing us to have our humor today as well. And we'll see you on another Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for listening to the Be a Smarter Homeowner podcast. Visit beasmarterhomeowner.com to sign up for our newsletter and find out more about software to help you save time, save money, and manage your home.